The Ayasofya Grand Mosque, with its innovative architecture, rich history, religious significance and extraordinary characteristics, has been fighting against time for centuries, was the largest Eastern Roman church in Istanbul. Constructed 3 times in the same location, it is the world's oldest and fastest completed cathedral. With its breathtaking domes that look like hanging in the air, monolithic marble columns and unparalleled mosaics, is one of the wonders of world's architecture history. Istanbul is a major city in Turkey that straddles Europe and Asia across the Bosphorus Strait. Its old city reflects cultural influences of the many empires that once ruled here. In the Sultanate district, the open-air, Roman-era hippodrome was for centuries the site of chariot races, and Egyptian obelisks also remain. The iconic Byzantine Ayasofya features a soaring 6th-century dome and rare Christian mosaics. The sheer dazzling beauty of Mosque with its magnificent play on space, light, and color provokes worship in the believer. Ayasofya pose on the ground of the first hill of Istanbul, precisely at the tip of the historic peninsula, surrounded by the Sea of Marmara, the Bosphorus, and the Golden Horn on 3 sides. Today's Ayasofya is the 3rd building constructed in the same place with a different architectural understanding than its predecessors. Ayasofya, considered the embodiment of Byzantine architecture and also said changed the history of architecture. By the order of Emperor Justinianos, it was built by Anthemios. The construction started in 532 AD and was completed in a period of 5 years. An earthquake swarm which hit the Constantinople from in 558 AD was destructive. The dome of the Ayasofya collapsed and thousands of houses couldn't resist magnitude of quakes. The Ayasofya and Byzantine city of Constantinople sacked and looted in April 1204 by the Venetians, and the Crusaders on the Fourth Crusade, which regarded as shocking betrayal amongst Christians. The Crusader nobleman Baldwin of Flanders was crowned as emperor in Ayasofya, but most Byzantines refused to recognize him, and the empire fragmented into 4 small independent states. When Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror conquered the Constantini, he converted it into his imperial mosque. Buttresses were added to the Ayasofya's sides to prevent it from collapse during the reign of Murad III, by the historical architect Sinan, who would be inspired by the ancient edifice, and fusing its style with Islamic art and aesthetics in a series of grand mosques. The Ayasofya, whose domes and walls collapsed many times during the Eastern Roman period, never collapsed again after the renovations of Sinan the architect, despite many great earthquakes in Istanbul. From the time of Fatih Sultan Mehmet Khan, every sultan strived to beautify the Ayasofya even more, and the Ayasofya was transformed into an entire complex with structures such as mihrab, minbar, rostrum, minarets, sultan's office, providing water for ritual ablutions, madrasa, library, and soup kitchen. In addition, great importance was attached to the interior decorations of the Ayasofya Mosque during the Ottoman period. Ayasofya was adorned with the most elegant examples of Turkish arts such as calligraphy and tile art, and the temple gained new aesthetic values. Thus, Istanbul's Ayasofya was not only converted into a mosque, but also this common heritage of humanity was preserved and improved. It continued its existence with the addition of Ottoman architectural elements. However, after 4 years of closure to the public, Ayasofya Mosque declared as a museum, with the Council of Ministers decision of 1934, and served as a memorial museum, held by General Directorate of Cultural Heritage and Museums Ministry. The Ayasofya has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1985 as a section called the Historic Areas of Istanbul, which includes Istanbul's other major historic buildings and monuments. Today it is a landmark of Istanbul and one of the most visited sites in Turkey. On July 10, 2020, a Turkish top court reversed this 1934 cabinet decree which turned Ayasofya Mosque into a museum, assist for its use again as a mosque after 86 years of gap. Judges decided that as the Ayasofya was owned by the Fatih Sultan Mehmet Khan Foundation, the government did not have the right to change its status. The minarets were an Ottoman addition and not part of the original church's Byzantine design. They were built for notification of invitations for prayers and announcements. Mehmed had built a wooden minaret over one of the half-domes soon after Ayasofya's conversion from a cathedral to a mosque. This minaret does not exist today. One of the minarets, at southeast, was built from red brick and can be dated back from the reign of Mehmed or his successor Bayazid II. The other three were built from white limestone and sandstone, of which the slender northeast column was erected by Bayezid II and the two identical, larger minarets to the west were erected by Selim II and designed by the famous Ottoman architect Mimar Sinan. Both are 60 meters in height, and their thick and massive patterns complete Ayasofya's main structure. Many ornaments and details were added to these minarets on repairs during the 15th, 16th, and 19th centuries, which reflect each period's characteristics and ideals. The Dome of Ayasofya has spurred particular interest for many art historians, architects, and engineers because of the innovative way the original architects envisioned it. The dome is carried on 4 spherical triangular pendentives, making the Ayasofya one of the first large-scale uses of this element. The pendentives are the corners of the square base of the dome, and they curve upwards into the dome to support it, thus restraining the lateral forces of the dome and allowing its weight to flow downwards. The main dome of the Ayasofya was the largest pendentive dome in the world until the completion of St. Peter's Basilica, and it has a much lower height than any other dome of such a large diameter. The Great Dome at the Ayasofya is 32.6 meters in diameter and is only 2 feet thick. The main building materials for the original Ayasofya were brick and mortar. Brick aggregate was used to make roofs easier to construct. The aggregate weighs 2,400 kilograms per cubic meter. The weight of the dome remained a problem for most of the building's existence. The original cupola collapsed entirely after the earthquake of 558. Although this design stabilizes the dome and the surrounding walls and arches, the actual construction of the walls of Ayasofya weakened the overall structure. The bricklayers used more mortar than brick, which is more effective if the mortar was allowed to settle, as the building would have been more flexible. However, the builders did not allow the mortar to cure before they began the next layer. When the dome was erected, its weight caused the walls to lean outward because of the wet mortar underneath. Ayasofya is famous for the light that reflects everywhere in the interior of the nave, giving the dome the appearance of hovering above. This effect was achieved by inserting 40 windows around the base of the original structure. Moreover, the insertion of the windows in the dome's structure reduced its weight. The iconic Ayasofya dome can be instantly spotted from a distance. It has a diameter of around 31 meters. 4 spherical triangular pendentives bear the dome. The pendentives are the corners of the dome's square base, curving upwards into the dome to support it, restricting the dome's lateral forces and allowing its weight to flow downwards. The dome was left somewhat elliptical due to repairs. The vast interior of Ayasofya has an intricate structure. The nave is enclosed by a central dome at 55.6 m above ground level. Arched openings are extended by half-domes of equal diameter to the central dome on the western entrance and eastern liturgical side. These are borne on smaller semi-domed exedras, a hierarchy of dome-headed elements designed to create a wide oblong interior capped by the central dome. Ayasofya has mosaics on the inside of its dome, the Imperial Gate, the southwestern gate, as well as the northern tympanum. However, the most significant of them are the mosaics on the apse. Mary, the mother of Jesus carrying the Christ child and sitting on a jeweled Lokos backless throne, is shown in the mosaic in the semi-dome above the apse on the east end. It is not known when the mosaic was installed. The Desis mosaic probably dates from 1261. It was commissioned to mark the end of 57 years of Latin Catholic use and the return to the Eastern Orthodox faith. It is the third panel situated in the imperial enclosure of the upper galleries. It is widely considered the finest in Ayasofya, because of the softness of the features, the humane expressions and the tones of the mosaic. The Calmness mosaic, also located on the eastern wall of the southern gallery, dates from 1122. The Virgin Mary is standing in the middle, depicted, as usual in Byzantine art, in a dark blue gown. She holds the Christ child on her lap. He gives his blessing with his right hand while holding a scroll in his left hand. On her right side stands Emperor John II Calmness, represented in a garb embellished with precious stones. The building is almost square in plan. It contains 3 aisles separated by columns, each containing a gallery of mosaics. Above the galleries are 40 windows, giving the impression that the roof is floating on air. The Ayasofya has 104 columns, many made of marble, imported from the Temple of Artemis in Ephesus, an ancient city near modern-day Selçuk, Turkey, and from Egypt. All visitors, Muslims and non-Muslims are allowed to enter Ayasofya Mosque. Visitors should remove their shoes before stepping onto the mosque's carpets. Avoid visiting Ayasofya Mosque at prayer times, 5 times a day, especially noon praying on Fridays. Women should wear a head covering when entering to the Ayasofya. Headscarves are available at the Ayasofya Mosque entrance without a fee. Photography is allowed, however do not take pictures of people who are in the mosque to pray. Stay silent during your visit, don't run and stand in front of anyone praying. There is no entrance fee to visit Ayasofya Mosque, but donations are welcome. The Ayasofya Mosque is famous for its exterior as well as its interior. The mausoleums of Ottoman sultans outside the building are among the first to visit. There are tombs of princes and mausoleums of Sultan Selim II, Sultan Murad III, Sultan Mehmed III, Sultan Mustafa I, and Sultan Ibrahim whose reigns followed one another. Ayasofya Grand Mosque more than just a monument to the grandeur of human achievement and artistic expression.